his mother and raise him tenderly, for he will be like no other. He will save the world.
The angel's words amaze me, but I believe they're true. I'll follow his instructions because God wants me to. I'll take care of this baby. I'll raise him like a son. I'll leave my town, give up my job, and do what must be done. I give Jesus my plans and ambitions.
Okay, now, children, would like you guys to join in Hark the Herald on page 60.
A Sky Full of Children by Madeline L. Engel. I walk out onto the deck of my cottage, backing up at the great river of the Milky Way, flowing across the sky. A sliver of moon hangs in the southwest, with the evening star gently in the curve. Evening. Evening for this day. Evening of my own life. I look at the stars and wonder, how old is the universe? All kinds of estimates have been made, and as far as we can tell, not one is accurate. All we know is that once upon a time, or rather once before time, Christ called everything into being in a great breath of creativity. Waters, land, green growing things, birds and beasts, and finally human creatures. The beginning, the Genesis, not in ordinary earth days. The Bible makes it quite clear that God's time is different from our time. 1,000 years for us is no more than a blink of an eye to God. But in God's good time, the universe came into being, opening up from a tiny flower of nothingness to great clouds of hydrogen gases and swirling galaxies. In God's good time came solar systems and planets, and ultimately this planet on which I stand on this autumn evening as the earth makes its graceful dance across and around the sun. It takes one earth day, one earth night to make a full turn, but of the intricate pattern of the universe, and God called it good, very good. A sky full of God's children, each galaxy, each star, each living creature, every particle and subatomic particle of creation, where we are all of the children of our Maker. From a subatomic particle with a lifespan of a few seconds, to us human creatures somewhere in the middle in size and age, we are made in God's image. Male and female, we are made, and as Christ promised, He adopted His children by grace and love. Children of God, made in God's image. How? Children of God. Genesis gives no explanations, but we do know instinctively that it's not a physical image. God's explanation is to send Jesus, the incarnate one, God in flesh. Don't try to explain the incarnation to me. It's further from being able to explain the furthest star in the furthest galaxy. It's love. God's limitless love enfleshing that love into the form of a human being, Jesus the Christ, fully human and fully divine, was there at a moment known only to God, when all the stars held their breaths, when the galaxy paused in their dance for a fraction of a second, and the Word, who had called it all into being, went with all His love into the womb of a young girl. And the universe started to breathe again, and to the ancient harmonies resumed their songs, and the angels clapped for joy. Power, great power, more power than we can imagine, abandoned, as the Word knew the powerlessness of an unborn child, still unformed, taking up almost no space in the great ocean of amniotic fluid, unseen, unhearing, unknowing, slowly growing. As any human embryo grows, arms and legs, head and eyes, mouth and nose, slowly swimming into life, the ocean in the womb, which is no longer large enough, and it's time for birth. Christ, the second person of the Trinity, Christ, the maker of the universe, or perhaps, bless you, many universes, willingly and lovingly leaving all that power and coming to this poor, sin-filled planet to live with us for a few years, to show us what we ought to be and could be. Christ came to us as Jesus of Nazareth, wholly human and wholly divine, to show us what it means to be made in God's image. Jesus, as Paul reminds us, was the firstborn of many brethren. I stand on the deck of my cottage looking at the sky full of God's children, and I know that I am one of them. And I am a gift from God. And the only gift I or any child of God can give back to God is one's own life. On this day of giving, do you need to re-gift your life to God? Or do you need to give your life to God on this most beautiful day for the first time? I invite you to stand as you are able as we sing hymn number 67.
And then insert "What Can I Give Him" right after.
I think these children did an excellent job, and they need to know that.